It's June 21st, 2020, and welcome to episode 38 of the Baby Metal Podcast. We gather here in the podcast Discord server on alternate weeks to discuss news and thoughts on the past and future projects of Baby Metal. We invite you to join us, whether you're a longtime fan or have only just arrived. I am Paul, and I am joined by Garrett.
Hello, everyone.
And Callie.
Hello, guys.
And I guess the bird's kind of been banished to another room.
Yes, but he's still making his appearance known to at least me. I don't know if it's being caught up on. He's going through a blanket and a door now at this point.
Poor guy. So, let's see. So we have a little bit of recent news that we can talk about that's happened since the last episode. And then the main stuff that we're planning on talking about this time is the cover songs that Baby Metal have played that we've got recorded, and maybe also something about the artists that they've shared stages with, which has some overlap with that as well. Possibly the largest bit of recent news that we got is that they have finally announced the Legend Metal Galaxy release. The one set is announced and the various types. I assume everybody has had a chance to look at that.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, and pre-ordered it, yep.
Yep, yeah. I ordered it quite quickly.
Yeah.
So it comes in the same basic setup as the Tokyo Dome one did. So there's the one set, which has it has 2 Blu-rays, it has 2 CDs, it has a photo book called Apocalypse, 64 pages expected, and then there's a couple of other things that it has, but I'll come back to that in a second. There's also, beyond the one set, there's also a LP-sized version, what is it called? The first release, something like that, it's basically like a 12-inch jacket for the Blu-rays. So it's not, it's a special edition of its sort, but it doesn't contain anything, I don't think, except the Blu-rays. And then there's also sort of a pedestrian release, a peasant release.
Peasant release.
Yeah. But so that's cool. The things that I didn't mention that are interesting and new are on the Osmart site. It says there is a special interview that comes with the one version. Ooh. And special goods, and a little asterisk that says the special goods which decides about the design by fan voting. Which
fan voting.
Yes.
Is it the one voting or is it the fan voting?
It's nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Because that's kind of a big deal. From what I understand, there's a far number of fans who will mindlessly vote Baby Metal all day long. But
yes, but so we're good at voting, but who knows?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect.
I hope it's the fans. I like to put my say in there.
Yeah. Well, the assumption that people have been making is that it's actually the people who have ordered the one set who get to vote.
Probably. That would make sense.
So.
Yeah, maybe in an email or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So I'm very curious to know what the options are going to be. We don't really know anything further.
I bet all options are going to be amazing. It's going to be really difficult to choose.
Yes. Yeah. I do kind of wonder though if it's going to be sort of on the is it going to be like a bandana or a dog collar or
yes
straws?
My mind went to t-shirt, but I don't know if they would send one with.
I mean, their merch has not been too glorious in the past.
No. But they might just surprise us and it'll be some completely random items.
Yeah. Well, I thought it would be pretty cool if it was sort of like a piece of art where you get to vote for like pieces of it, so like there are 9 quadrants and you get to vote for 2, and then somehow the fans have contributed collaboratively to whatever it ends up being. Yeah. Anyway, so that's kind of exciting. I mean, we knew this was coming, but it's nice that it finally has.
Highlighted BMC actually going to be on there.
Yes. Yeah, they have
it's going to be
list.
Epic.
That's exciting.
Very, very exciting.
Yeah, I think so. The one thing so we've seen some previews of this stuff on WoW, right? So both of these days have been broadcast.
Yes.
And so we haven't seen BMC, but we've seen most of the rest of the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is really, I've rewatched it a couple of times, and it is really amazing just how fast those camera switches are. I mean, like, it is really kind of hard to watch.
It is, yeah. I agree.
So that's one thing that I just kind of want to watch, like, what they're doing. And you so infrequently can really see what's happening because it's just jumping all around.
Yeah, you kind of need to focus on, well, as you said, what they're doing, but because they cut so quickly, it's really hard to focus.
Yeah. My guess is that's going to be exactly what we see. So who knows? But it's been announced and it's been pre-ordered by many people. Oh, and I noticed we were just talking last time about Mikitsune, and I noticed that in the translated track list, disc 1 has Vixen on it. So apparently this is one example of the Osmart translations not quite managing it. Anyway, okay, so that's one bit of news. Oh, and I guess when is it? September 9th, I think, is when it's supposed to ship. I've lost track of it now.
That's correct.
Okay.
Pre-order ends July 5th and becomes available September 9th.
Okay. Oh, we should say what the price is too. 2,6,400 yen. 26,000 yen.
Yeah, mine worked out to be about £240, including shipping. Yeah. And then I'll probably get about £60 custom charge as well.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one thing that so far, anyway, shipping into the US has not had to account for. I mean, like, there hasn't been any special customs charges. But yeah, I got the 1 and the LP sized one. I did not get the other one. But
no, I only got the one. I didn't get any others.
Yeah, I know for Tokyo Dome it took me a while to really kind of bring myself to get the the LP sized one for that, because it really is just a folder. Okay, other news. Yui Mizuno turned 21.
Happy 21st birthday, Yui.
Yep.
Happy birthday.
Not surprisingly, no indication of this happening from BABYMETAL, but Sakura Gakuin and some other people that she hung out with in Sakura Gakuin tweeted about it and so forth. I think Omura put a birthday cake in his Twitter name.
Yeah, that was really cute.
I don't know why, but I think we discussed it the podcast before the Megatsune one. We were talking about if they were going to tweet anything about Yui. I think the consensus was they weren't going to. So I don't know why. I don't know. I had hopes that they would do something, but
yeah, in
my heart, I'm not surprised.
I think we decided that last year they didn't do anything, so this year they probably wouldn't either. Yeah, I didn't pay that much attention actually to like what the tweets were. I know there was a lot of fan art and stuff like that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, there was quite a lot online.
Whenever there's some kind of milestone like this, or like, the anniversary of her announcing leaving the group or whatever, that hopefully, we'll hear soon what her next thing is.
Yeah, that would be exciting. It'd shut all of us up for sure.
Oh, I don't know.
To a certain degree.
Maybe we'd start a new podcast.
Yeah.
But, so we got Aiko tweeted a photo that I think we didn't have before, but from 2015 to 2016. So that was kind of nice. And then I guess the other bit of news is that we have another stream. So Legend S will be streamed on June 28th.
Yay.
I think that's at 5 a.m. for me. Or 6.
Yeah, something like that. Probably it's 7 a.m. for me.
Yeah, it's 6 a.m. then. I'm 1 hour behind you.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to try and get up and watch it.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to kind of go through, to sort of hang out with the group and do the streams. And
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, those are the normally quiet ones.
The bird woke up. But they have merch again, which is I think why they announced it so far in advance. There's a couple of shirts you can get, and there's
Yay!
this. So what do you think of the talk about the special Su-Metal produced thing?
Oh, it's so random, but so cool. I love it.
Yeah, it's a pet collar.
Pet collar, yeah, because you can get different sizes. So I'm hoping the small is small enough for my cats.
That'd be cool. Yeah, Perhaps nothing hamster sized, but
No.
but that's weird. I mean, it's specifically advertised as produced by BABYMETAL on the thing.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's real.
My theory is that she just maybe thought of the idea of doing a pet collar, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll do that. Done."
Hey, BABYMETAL, do you like this pet collar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then you produced it.
See, there's a doormat. That doormat would have to go inside my house.
Yeah.
And I don't think I have a place inside my house where I'd want to put a doormat out, and I don't trust it outside my house.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. These are merch items. I mean, I guess you have to get like 3 of them, 2 backups and 1 to actually put
Yeah, I guess so.
door.
The t-shirt designs are really, really cool. I'm quite impressed.
The KOD one's pretty cool looking.
Really, yeah, I really like the colours, and I like that they've got purple in the first t-shirt as well.
Yeah, I think I might actually get those.
Yes, get both.
Yeah.
Do it.
I did get the Wembley ones, but
No, I've received my 2 masks from the UK store, so that's good.
oh really?
Yeah,
How are they?
they're really actually. Well, they're okay. They're pretty cheap and basic, but it does the job.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that was kind of what I was gathering from the Twitter reviews.
Yeah.
That they could be better, but
Yeah.
Someone in the chat mentioned the shirt's name KXOXD. And do we have any guesses of what that could be?
I think it's the artist's name.
Oh, I have no idea.
I think so.
I had seen something about that theory somewhere. So one shirt is called IXK and the other one is called KXOXD. And I think it may actually have to do with the artist's name.
Okay.
So
Did not know that.
yeah, Koba on Demand is a kind of good hypothesis as well.
Yeah, that's very good.
That's a good one.
Anyway, yeah, so interesting merch. I think I probably am going to pass on the doormat. I really just don't know what I'm going to do with a doormat if it's not in front of a door.
I mean, if it's like one of those like super absorbent like shower mats, I could totally see myself buying one of those, but not a doormat.
Yeah, it depends what kind of material it is. If it's very very scratchy, I think my cats would probably enjoy scratching on it.
That would not be a good purchase.
No. Oh well.
Yeah, I do have I have a couple of those Legend S merch things. I have like there's like a little notebook and stuff.
Yeah, that's nice, yeah.
Also, this is the anniversary of The Sun Also Rises Yokohama show. So
Yeah.
when they started back up again. I don't know if that's meaningful, but it may just be that it just happened to be a Sunday or Saturday or whatever it is. What is it? A Sunday? A Sunday. But it definitely blew apart the my hoped for pattern of things happening on the 10th.
Yeah, no.
Because they announced this on the 19th and then it's happening on the 28th. So
I almost had a pattern.
yeah. The merchandise for this, just like the Wembley show, it's available at the UK and US stores, and it's only available for 24 hours. So, and I think hopefully this will hit the feed, like on the podcast feed before that actually happens, but who knows? Sometimes the editing goes slowly. Okay. Is there any other news that we should be talking about?
Not that I know of. I think we about got it covered.
Okay.
But Legend S is the next thing we're hoping for or looking forward to. And then after that, it's quiet.
Yep. Although I think it has at least been the case that we've had something like once a month.
It feels that way.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what they might stream next. I mean, so far these have all been things you can buy relatively easily, right? Mm-hmm. So
Legend S, I was thinking about it earlier. It felt like Legend S was recent. It's not. That was all the way back in 2017.
Right.
December of 2017. It's hard to believe it's already well over 2 years old.
Yeah.
And if we're going down the list of major shows, the next one would be Dark Knight Carnival.
The ones that they've done so far are ones that there are pretty easy, Western releases to get. And also these things are all on iTunes. That was something that I don't think was true so recently, but you can get Legend S, you can get Tokyo Dome, you can get Wembley, and also Budokan. And Legend IDZ as well. So that actually kind of makes me think that perhaps Budokan and Legend IDZ are possibilities for future streams.
I'd like that.
They're both super old, though.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
over 5 years at this point. But, I mean, it would be a great way to get their name out there and show who they are to newer fans, too, because people who have discovered them through all these streaming events probably don't have too much of an idea of what they did 6-7 years ago.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see. So that's, I guess, what's coming up. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to mention was the last episode before this one was on Megitsune. And we got a little bit of feedback, which might be worth talking about. And then, Garrett, maybe we can also talk to you a little bit about it, too, since you weren't here for that.
Okay.
Rick on the subreddit post put a couple of notes in that were I think kind of maybe worth mentioning. So apparently Megitsune went back to Yo-Yo Yuppie many times for fine-tuning. And there apparently is a story that the final version was almost lost due to a computer failure. So, jeez. But definitely the back and forth is something that we've heard about other songs too, I think. In the video, Moa mentions that part of it was shot in a traditional house, so that probably wasn't actually in the shrine.
Ah, okay.
That did come up as one of the things we were wondering about. And then there's some still shots of the filming of the video that I had said I didn't know where they were from, but there's a blog post by Chidori Yakuma, who's the person who's doing the dance, the masked fan dance in the video. So this is with her movement design group, and actually the people playing the musicians as well were from her group. So I think we'll probably have a link, either that or you can go to the subreddit and find the link to the blog post that has these photos in it, that has like the cameras on the tracks and stuff like that in front of the shrine. And yeah, I mean, I guess maybe now is a moment to just ask Garrett if there was anything you wanted to say about the music of it, because I know you talked about learning how to play it.
Yeah, Megitsune was one. I guess I can comfortably say the only song by BABYMETAL I can comfortably play on guitar. Like I learned like maybe the first 45 seconds of Road of Resistance, and then it got really, really hard. That was before I kind of developed any kind of skill. But Megitsune, I think, after looking at a lot of their tabs and trying to learn some of their music, it might be one of the easiest songs to play on guitar in my opinion. And I have to say in my opinion because maybe there's easier ones out there that I haven't discovered yet, even though I've heard all of them. But it's just a simple progression from the 5th fret, 3rd fret, 0, and then 1. And that's pretty much the entire song. You get the chorus, verse, the whole thing. It's for the most part repeated with accents during the bridges and whatnot. That's all it is.
But still pretty satisfying to play, I bet.
Oh, very, yeah. Like, that's one of the few things that I like playing guitar so much, is being able to learn the song and play it all the way through with the band. And that amount of serotonin is enough to carry me on, I guess. But learning BABYMETAL songs is fun because, I don't know, it's the whole... I'm used to playing rock and metal. It's almost a different genre learning their music. We've talked about it before. No two songs are the same.
Yeah, right. And I think in a lot of metal music, there's a kind of technicality that, just sort of straightforward rock music doesn't have. That,
yeah,
it's a little toward the, whatever prog area.
Well, yeah, if you compare Megitsune to, say, something like Starlight, it's just black and white, it's 1 and 2 or 1 and 0. There's polar opposites, in my opinion, guitar-wise, because on Starlight, you have to have a lot of finger mechanical skills to be able to pull off a lot of the movements they're doing, compared to Megitsune, where I could put the guitar in my little sister's hand and say, hold down these notes, and then move to these notes, and she would have the main riff just down pat.
Yeah. Or like the guitar part in Shine,
yeah,
for example.
Yeah, if tuned properly.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. And there was another comment that was on the subreddit was about, so quintessential was the word that I could not remember through the entire episode last time.
That's a hard one.
Right.
There was a sort of a comment about whether Megitsune should be considered quintessential, and the competitors were Gimme Chocolate and Karate, as being possibly kind of like the prototypical BABYMETAL. So I looked into it a little bit, because one of the arguments for using Megitsune is just that it's been played more than any other song. But actually, when I went to count, basically, of course, Megitsune came out before Gimme Chocolate. So obviously, Gimme Chocolate could not have been played as much as Megitsune, just in principle. And it turns out that if you sort of do the math, they've all just become permanent since their debut. So, I mean, Mikisune has been played 232 times, I think it was, but as soon as Gimme Chocolate came out, it's been played, as many times as Mikisune has since that, in that time span. And same with Karate. So all three of those are basically permanent since they started. Who knows? Maybe that means we'll do episodes on those too. I don't know. I think actually these old ones, like, there's much more to say about the old ones.
I agree. We've all seen them live at this point. We know exactly. We could dance along in our heads, but not with our bodies.
Right.
Yeah.
But okay. So maybe now we can actually get to the topic. So the topic we were going to talk about this time was baby metal cover songs. So I guess basically, mainly this is songs that other people wrote that they played, which they kind of had to do early on in order to fill shows. And then I think that also sort of fits in, it's kind of the same topic as artists they've shared the stage with, too. There's a fairly long list, actually, and a lot of this stuff is early. I mean, like, I don't think any of this is more recent than 2016.
I was leaning towards 2015, but yeah.
Yeah, might be 2015 might actually be correct. Once they're sort of famous enough and they have enough of a catalog, then they don't need to sort of participate much in the...
I don't know if it's really completely accurate or worth saying, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. This is about the same time period they brought in a comedy band as well. I think a lot of the stuff they were playing with Baby Bones.
Yeah.
I can't think of the exact date, but I want to say
I think you're right. I think you are correct. That, except for when they were with Dragon Force.
And Rob Halford and all that. That's later on, though.
Yeah. But a lot of the stuff was sort of predates having an actual comedy band.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's see. I think we have... there's a Google Doc, a show notes document that we have in front of us that I'm looking at, and things are in an order. I don't think they're in chronological order. They're just in an order in this document. Maybe we can just go through it.
Yeah, I was kind of... What was the first cover song they did? Does anybody know? Was it Chikado Love and Love Machine, the Yui and Moa ones?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Legend 1997 and 1999 had a bunch of cover songs in them. So those, maybe we can just sort of talk about those shows. The 1999 is when Yui and Moa were born. 1997 is when Sue was born.
Correct.
The Legend 1999, 1997 shows were basically themed around those. So Legend 1999 was centered around Yui and Moa. Legend 1997 was centered around Sue. Right.
Yes.
And so in the Legend 1999 shows, this is one of the only times, this is basically the only time that Yui Metal and Moa Metal had solos. So that's where we had the songs Chokoto Love and Love Machine. When was this? This was 2013. So June 30th, 2013 is when these were.
Okay.
So that's not going to be the first cover.
No,
but let's talk about it anyway. Because we're talking about them now. And so I think we talked about these before in principle, but both the songs that Yui and Moa did as solos were kind of derived from Morning Musume, which is pretty interesting. So the Chokoto Love, which translates as a little bit of love, that is a Puchimoni, a Petite Moni cover, which is a subgroup of Morning Musume. Morning Musume we know as being Riho's old group, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that connection is kind of interesting anyway. We can probably provide links somewhere to like the original songs, but you can listen to the original song of Chokoto Love. So that one's the one that Yui did. And then Love Machine is the one that Moa did. That was a Morning Musume proper. Both of these were songs from 1999, and they both contain the word love. So that's kind of how they were chosen, I think. That they're from the year that they were born, and they contain the word love. Interestingly, actually, all the way up until yesterday, I didn't realize that Chokoto Love wasn't a reference to chocolate.
My brain never connected those two. I always just assumed it was a word for something I didn't know in Japanese.
Yeah, that's what
referred to it as its name.
Okay, yeah.
Chocolate. Well, I mean, I can kind of see it.
Anyway, but it isn't. It's actually, I think it's the same bass as the Chomate, like wait a second, in Doki Doki Morning. So it's a little bit of love is what that stands for. Okay. But anyway, it's interesting to go back and listen to the original songs, but the covers are so much better.
Yeah, I agree.
It's really kind of depressing actually to listen to. Like, I mean, it's interesting to see what their source material was, but the composers on both of those just did a so much better job on the like baby metalizing of them.
I agree. The metal versions are always got a little bit more flavor, in my opinion.
Uh-huh. So, is there anything you wanted to sort of talk about those specifically? Either Yui Metal solo or Moa Metal solo.
I remember back whenever I first started like getting into BABYMETAL and looking up all their songs because I had no idea like how to even find the music. So this is before I even started really. I didn't really start listening to music a lot until after I graduated high school, and I found BABYMETAL like right before I graduated. And so I remember going through all their music and finding these solos. And I remember being drawn to these two and watching them like, wow, these aren't even their songs. I was in astonishment. Mm-hmm. I remember watching Chikoto Love at least 3 or 4 times back to back to back. And I remember at one point like it got deleted. I remember it got removed and then it was re-uploaded by somebody else. And then whoever re-uploaded it was like half the quality it used to be. And I think that's the version we still have today. It's just like half the quality it used to be. But I remember this is before I understood what the Kami band and stuff was. Like I remember seeing those people in Baby Bones costumes and being amazed. Like, oh hey, there's people in costumes playing guitars and stuff. How do they see?
Right.
But yeah, that's about it. I never really looked into the meaning of the words or the lyrics, but these songs do have a place in my heart. I do remember listening to them back in the day.
Between the two, I really like Chikoto Love more.
Yeah, that's the one I lean to.
Yeah, that's my favorite as well. The
thing that bothers me about both of these is I mean, it's related to that the comment you're making about the lower quality video being uploaded. Because
I'm not crazy, am I?
Well, I mean, I don't know. That separate question, perhaps, but
okay. Yeah, I think I am.
Okay. But so I'm not sure actually what's on YouTube, but the best available video for this is terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I remember it being at least like 720p or 1080p.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's on the Blu-ray, but it's lit very badly, and the quality actually is not that great anyway. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of tragic in a way that
it really is.
You know, there isn't a better version of it because it's really hard to see what's going on. Just because it's all lit in yellow and red, but I like the songs. I do watch them here and there. Okay, yeah, and then so those while we're talking about those, I guess the one that's sort of paired with that, I guess it must be Soul's Refrain. So I was going to say that it was White Love, but White Love was actually from Legend D. So maybe I'll talk about Soul's Refrain, which is the solo, the sort of relevant solo that was on Legend 1997 by Sue. So this one is Tamishi no Refrain, Soul's Refrain. It's the theme song for Neon Genesis Evangelion, first used in Evangelion Death and Rebirth from 1997. I watched the anime series, and this song never came up. But I have not watched any of these movie, compilations or continuations, and so I don't know it from the context, but I'm pretty sure that the entire audience did. Do you guys know the song, sort of outside this context? Outside
of the context of BABYMETAL, I had no idea. Like I knew it was a cover, but I didn't know the anime. I had no idea.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, Kelly, had you heard it before this?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Somebody in the chat said it was one of the most famous anime songs of all time, but okay, now it's a whole debate.
I mean, I think that was what I was thinking. Is that I'm coming at this with a kind of a different background. So I imagine everybody in that audience knew exactly what she was doing as soon as she got like 3 notes into it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it sounds really good. I mean, and again, I really like the metal version. The original one fits, the original one sounds like all the music in that series. But, so it's good too. But, if I had a choice, if I had to choose exactly one to listen to, I would listen to the BABYMETAL one. Let's see. So what else? So we have those. Those are the ones that I guess were from the Legend 1999-1997 shows. Is that it? Well, there's one other cover from that show that we should probably talk about. But anything else you wanted to talk about those three that we've talked about so far?
No.
No.
Okay. So the other one that showed up in Legend 1997 is Over the Future. And there's a whole like story about that. And so we should probably talk about that for a little while.
Okay.
But okay, so Over the Future is a song. It is by Karen Girls. Karen Girls is a group that has a terrible name. It is a name that bothers me every time I see it because this apostrophe S is in completely the wrong place.
Yep.
I have no idea what it's doing there. But anyway, so it's Karen and then girl apostrophe S, Karen Girls. Zettai Karen Children is the anime that goes along with it. And so Karen Girls was basically a group created to do the theme song for this. And they released like a little EP, basically a little mini album that has something on the lines of like 8 songs on it. 2 of those songs were used in kind of intros and stuff for this anime. And the group existed only for the length of that anime. But this group, of course, you know, like the one of the main reasons that this is interesting is that Suzuka Nakamoto is in the group, right? This is her pre-Sakura Gakuin.
This is the pregame to her whole career.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen her. So Sue was in the actors school Hiroshima earlier than this, I think. But anyway, this is very early Sue. At any rate, this was basically her, and it was Yui Kashima and Ayami Muto. Sue and Ayami went on to be in Sakura Gakuin. Yuika went off to do her own thing, and later kind of reunited with Itarawa from Sakura Gakuin to do Night of Spica, which was a fairly short-lived endeavor. They had actually a bunch of videos and stuff that they did. You can see them on the Amuse outlet Stolabo Tokyo, and they had a small album as well, which is pretty good actually. But anyway, that's all beside the point. Karen Girls, one of the things they were famous for was this Over the Future song, and that's the connection to Sue. Sue Metal in her previous life, had a hit with this song, and then there's also this connection with Yui and Moa too, actually. So. Maybe I can do the combination one first, which is that they did at the beginning of when Yui and Moa sort of entered Sakura Gakuin, they did this what is sometimes referred to as an entrance exam video, which is basically them just doing choreography to a song, which happens to be this song, Over the Future. So those are, I think they're supposed to be something like audition tapes or whatever, except that they only exist for people who actually got in. So I do not believe that they are truly audition tapes. But at any rate, so you can see very, very tiny Yui and Moa dancing to the song. And then, one of the things that happens in Sakura Gakuin is that they do these diaries. Each of the individual members will write up some little thing about what things are going on with them or whatever, and they'll write them out, and then they're available to the fans. And so one of the ones that Yui wrote up actually talked about both performing this and sort of Yui's history with this. And so one of the things that we know about this, I'm not going to sort of go through the entire diary entry, but essentially Yui knows the song really well because she first of all, she really liked Karen Girls a lot and kind of wanted to do that. But so she wrote that shortly after Karen Girls debuted, someone in Yui's family got ill, and it was a life-threatening illness, and she was still in 3rd grade and in shock, and she went to the hospital every day, but wasn't allowed into the ICU, and she was very worried. And so every day in the waiting room, she would basically just practice choreography to Over the Future while she waited to see if her family member regained health. And so, it's got this kind of like personal connection to Yui as well. And so that's that I think makes it sort of extra special that they actually got to perform it as Baby Metal later. So I don't know. I feel like I've been talking for a long time. Anyone else want to jump in and talk about the performance of it?
I got this. You can see BABYMETAL's face as soon as they get on stage to perform Over the Future. If you have not seen the video of them play it, the cover of it is so good. It starts off with Yui and Moa singing the opening to Over the Future, and then Sumetal comes in later in the song, assuming most of you have seen that, but you can just, from hearing from the diary, you can tell that BABYMETAL was super excited to play the song. Super excited. And in her diary, I see if I can find it here real quick. It felt like a dream come true. I was so happy, I was so happy. 3 times. Said it 3 times.
So sweet.
So like seeing stuff like that and seeing her be able to live out her dreams in a way is kind of hard not to smile at, you know?
Yeah. And that was another one where I bet the audience really, that was probably a very well-known song to the audience.
Oh, I bet. I
bet they're amazing to hear that live.
Yeah, so to be surprised by that.
I could only wish that I could go back in time to experience that, because if I would have been in that room at that particular time, I would have had no idea. But like looking back, I wish that could have been something I would have experienced.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's possible that like Yui's story about Over the Future was not well known at that time, because I don't know how it would have even been. I think the diary entry post-dated that, but
that's true.
But I mean, like, still, I bet that the people at the show knew the song.
They knew Sue was one of the original writers of the song.
And I mean, it was staged really effectively. I mean, like, the fact that they just had Yui and Moa out there at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Then Sue coming out was just such a powerful move. You almost have to drop your jaw.
Yeah. And I mean, they were all young, of course, at the time, but Yui and Moa were sort of more age appropriate for that song in a way. Yeah. So like it made sense that it was them doing it.
But Sue coming out, being the third, one of the original performers of the song, kind of, I'm sure everybody took note of that, and everybody was amazed with it. Like, oh, hey, it's one of the original Karen girls, right? Performing one of her own songs with her own group years later.
Yeah.
Like, I'm amazing.
It is pretty great.
I think this one's probably my favorite cover song out of all of them, to be completely honest.
Yeah. The original is pretty good too, I have to say. I mean,
yeah, I've heard it a couple of times. I don't think it holds a match to the BABYMETAL version, but
yeah. I have the Karen Girls EP thing or album, or I never know what to call this because it's a short album, but the whole thing is pretty good.
I didn't even know they had a whole. I didn't get that far into them. I just that foxhole, as you'd call it, ended whenever I was researching or looking into Over the Future.
Yeah, and there is a kind of inside the family aspect to Yui's exposure to Karen Girls. I don't really know. I'm kind of curious to know how big that anime was and how big Karen Girls was. Because, I think Yui was already kind of in Amuse, and Sue and Ayami were in Amuse. And, I think it's possible that Yui knew it better because they were all kind of grouped together. So someone in the chat had mentioned that it's possible that one of the reasons that Yui really liked Sue and Ayami and Karen Girls was because that she was in Amuse Kids since 2007 and was already sort of exposed to them as part of her, routine.
That would make sense.
So... Anyway, so yeah, Over the Future, among their covers, that I would probably also put that at the top. I really like that a lot. Anyway, anything else on Over the Future?
Nope, I think that's it for me.
Okay, go look it up though. If you don't somehow don't know it.
If you have not seen that, go do that.
And do watch the original video too, because it's really funny. You can, Sue is still Sue. It's very funny. So you can sort of tell, like you watch it and you can just sort of see, like, okay, this is the one that's going to be the rock star.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see the other ones. So I started talking about White Love before, thinking that was going to be the one that was sort of paired up with Chakotay Love and Love Machine, because it's also, it's released in Sue's birth year. It has the word love in it. It's a cover, but it was performed at Legend D and not at Legend 1997, and that's because Legend D was Sue's 15th birthday celebration. So it has that same kind of connection to, like, the reason it was picked, I'm sure, has to do with the 1997ness of it and the having the word love in it. So this was originally by a group called Speed. I did not know the group called Speed, but I found the original. I don't think I really listened to it, but Speed it's a Toys Factory group originally, and it kind of, I think, formed and reformed a couple of times. But anyway, the Baby Metal version of it is great.
I think this is the one that I have like the least. I remember listening to White Love, but I can't get it in my head on how it goes. I need to.
No, I'm the same. I'm just literally just looking at it now.
Yeah, it sounds like I know I've watched it. But this was,
it was a long time
in my head.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I have all of these in a audio playlist, so they go by it. Like I know what it sounds like fairly well just because I listen to it a lot. I don't know if there's actually all that much to say about this one in particular. This one doesn't have that much history to it.
Okay, I've caught back up now. I heard the intro. Yeah, I remember this one now. Yeah, I like the tune of this one quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is, of the covers, this is the one that I tend to start at. If I'm just specifically going to go find a cover and hit play on it, this one tends to be the one I hit.
For me, it was always Over the Future, but I feel like I've been neglecting White Love a lot. Like I have it playing in the background right now. It's a lot more high energy than I remember. I thought it was closer to Soul's Refrain being a little bit slower song, but no.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. I think there are two more things that I want to talk about in this little list that I'm looking at here. The first one, since we're talking about slower songs, is Tsubasa wo Kudasai. Please Give Me Wings, or Wings to Fly. This one is really slow, actually. It is, let's see, when did they play it? They played it December 20th, 2012, so that's, I guess that's Legend D. So this was written in 1970. It was released by Akai Tori in February 1971. And it's kind of a folk song. It became the theme to the Japan team during the 1998 FIFA World Cup. So it's famous. It's very well known. It was part of the soundtrack of Evangelion 2.0. So again, a Evangelion connection. And this one, unlike pretty much any of the other ones that we've talked about so far, this one is really widely covered. So lots and lots of people in Japan have covered it. In fact, even Susan Boyle has covered it.
Susan Boyle, wow.
Yeah, which I think is pretty funny. Her version is called Wings to Fly, but it's the same song. Yeah, this one is really pretty slow. This one, I respect it, but I don't tend to listen to it very often.
No, it's not one I've listened to probably more than 3 times.
Yeah. Me neither.
So, I don't know. It's kind of it's neat in its differentness, but it's rarely what I'm in the mood for.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay, and then I guess maybe the last one in this category is Kimi to Anime ga Mitai, or Answer for Animation with You. It is a cover. It's got kind of a weird status. I certainly did not know. So it's a cover of a Kiba of Akiba song, which is essentially identical.
It is. It's just the voice that's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because they're using the same music.
Yeah, and I think the same lyrics too, as far as I know.
Oh yeah.
So, it's the subtitle of it says "Answer for Animation with You." So it's the Japanese name of it is basically. I'm not actually sure how it translates in terms of its actual sort of like aspect, but it's something like watching anime with you, right?
Yeah.
With you, anime, watch. I just don't know if it's watching or to watch or I want to watch or something.
Some order like that.
Yeah.
I feel this song brings back, it's just like Over the Future, brings back a lot of nostalgia for me. Mm-hmm. Like, I remember, like, again, first getting into baby metal, like, you don't really ever hear, I remember fondly in the early days not being able to tell Yui and Moa apart. Like, the first few weeks, I had no idea which one was which. Or even, I didn't know their names at that point either, you could say. And I remember coming across this song and them singing their own verses, and I'm like, oh, hey, this is what they sound like. This is a key to discovering who they actually are and what they sound like. And then the Kimi to Anime ga Mitai was a good stepping stone for me as a fan.
Me too. Yeah, I think we had the exact same kind of process of listening to Baby Metal. I'm just agreeing with everything you're saying.
Yeah, it's possible that I almost never listened to the original, so it's possible that some of that stuff that you and Ma are each saying are in fact not represented in the original. So that may be a place where it's different.
Okay.
This was kind of weirdly released on a split single, so it's both a Kiba of Akiba single and a BABYMETAL single.
Is it their first single they released? Was that before Doki Doki Morning?
I wasn't even aware this was released by BABYMETAL at all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it's on a single, and it's got the fox design on the front.
Oh, this is knowledge to me.
Ah, let me see if I can find it. Hang on.
Yeah.
See, I only ever found it on YouTube or on Dailymotion.
It's released March 2012. Doki Doki Morning was 2011. So
yeah, I thought it was. Yeah.
It's between Doki Doki Morning and Headbanger.
There you go. There's the picture.
Okay. That does not look familiar to me at all.
Oh, really?
Okay.
See, perfect.
That is news to me. Okay.
Well, that's great. I mean, that's the point of the podcast is to introduce people to new stuff.
Yes, this is new
even
to
if
me.
it's old.
I was familiar with the song, and I even knew the name Kiba of Akiba, but I did not know they did this. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I didn't realize for a while that it was a cover, but it is originally the Kiba of Akiba song, and it sounds pretty weird when you listen to the original one. So you can find the original on YouTube, and it's the same song, but it's just not them singing it.
One's just better than the other.
Yeah, they do a bit more of a scream as well.
Yeah.
I really like the original of that song, actually. It's really, really good.
Yeah, that's one thing. Kiba of Akiba it's very sort of screamy vocals a lot of the time. There's some sort of harmonious stuff too.
See, that sounds right up my alley. I'm gonna have to check this out now.
Yeah.
But so they had so this single had a Kiba of Akiba song by itself. Party at the BBS is what it's called. So it does seem like Kiba of Akiba is kind of like technology focused in a way. It's kind of funny. They had a later song called I'm trying to remember now what it was called. It's something like my personal computer is dead, which is just them screaming about antiviruses and things.
Seems reasonable. I mean,
pretty
what
funny.
else would you title a song like that though?
Yeah. But they so also on Kiba of Akiba, there's a cover that they did of Doki Doki Morning, which is kind of interesting and terrible.
Okay. I'll take your opinion with a grain of salt. I might check that out too.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting oddity, but it's not good. Okay. Anyway, that's basically the end of the cover songs that were really basically just BABYMETAL performing covers. There's another category here. Like there's sort of an obvious set of songs that we have not talked about that everybody thinks of first, which have to do with when they were on stage with other people covering songs. I guess we can turn to that. Is there anything further you wanted to say on any of what we already talked about?
I want to mention it, but it's definitely not a point that we were talking about. But I remember, but you said like these songs would come into your head like with other band members on stage, but there was I forget what show it was. It's the one where they had a giant statue of Mary and they did like an EDM version of Headbanger, and I feel like that could almost be considered a cover of their own song, but that's too like out there, I think. But if we ever do an episode on great performances, I feel like that should be on there. Night of 15.
Yeah.
That is just amazing.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. That was great.
Yeah, the Headbanger Night of 15 mix.
Yeah, when I first heard it, I was just blown away. I just couldn't, after hearing all of their normal songs, and to have this kind of dubstep mix added to it was just so cool. And the fact that they played it live as well was just so cool.
I'm not the biggest fan of EDM and dubstep type stuff, but hearing one of my favorite songs by them turn into that and have them,
it worked.
They made
really
it great.
Well, they did.
I agree.
Yeah, and I like it quite a lot. I think there are two songs that had that kind of treatment to it. So there's Headbanger, and then we just talked about the other one. I guess it was Megitsune had a version of it, and I think you can get both of those. The Night of 15 remix is on the special editions of IDZ.
There's they did extra choreography for the new mix as well.
Yeah, so in the show that they played that in, they actually played Headbanger twice, I think, because of that. I mean, they did they basically just sort of danced to this mix at first, and then later they just played it normally.
Yeah. That is the
Okay,
one show that's my favorite show. That's the one I'd go back in time to watch.
I didn't realize they played it twice. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
It's a bit off. I mean, it kind of makes sense. This same song, but played two totally different ways.
I guess that counts. I would say that's them covering their own thing, perhaps.
Okay. I see. I wanted to wait till the end to bring it up, but I thought it was like on the edge of it being worth talking about because we could always talk about it further later.
Yeah. Oh, and in the chat room, there's some discussion of alternate mixes, which I guess, in a way that's probably not exactly the topic, but since it's kind of in what we've been mentioning here, there are a couple of mixes of, which one is it? Ine, I think Ine was on the second one, right? On Friends, and had a mix that was slightly different from the one that we get on the album, that just basically has just slightly different bit in the rap part, but it's better. It's much better. There's a really effective thing where they say like, so das ne, and then it breaks in, and it's just wonderful. And I really wish it did that on the album. But okay, enough rambling. Was there something someone wanted to try to get in there?
No, I wrapped up my comment.
Okay.
I think we're going to move on to other people on stage.
Yeah. I guess maybe the first most obvious one is to talk about when they shared the stage with Rob Halford. Rob Halford of Judas Priest. Mm-hmm. People love this because they can sort of send this link to their hater friends. Right? Say, look, Judas Priest likes them. We'll be on stage with them. Yeah, so the event that we have on video is the APMA, so the Alternative Press Music Awards in 2016.
They played Karate on their own.
Yeah.
Then it was Breaking the Law and Painkiller, correct?
Yes. So what I was trying to figure out was what the award is that they got. But it was like a breakthrough artist or something, maybe.
I think so.
And but anyway, so they got this award at the APMAs, and they played Karate on their own. And then they had like a one of these little movies. In the movie, they were introducing this concept of like Baby Metal joining the Metal God, the Metal Resistance and the Metal God, joining forces. And so this was Rob Halford, lead singer of Judas Priest, joined them to sing Painkiller and Breaking the Law, which are two Judas Priest songs.
Metal, like, staples in my opinion.
Yeah.
It was incredible to hear Sue Metal sing those two, like, in my opinion. I mean, not too many people get to get on stage with Rob Halford and sing Breaking the Law.
And they all seem to be having a great time. I mean, that's the fun thing.
I don't think it'd be possible to not have fun up there, to be honest, but...
Yeah. And, the Kami band loved it, too. I mean, like, so they got to play the music, right?
Yeah, with the band. I mean, as a musician myself, I could only dream to be able to get on stage and play with another band that I idolize.
Amazing opportunity.
I kind of wonder how much they practiced, but it was really pretty funny because it's Sue a little bit out of character, I think. A little bit more of like a rock star than she normally is.
Less scripted.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true too. I mean, like, I think it's probably a lot less scripted than what they're used to.
Oh yeah, choreography wise, you could read the comments on her performance. You could definitely see people pointed out she wasn't prepared to dance as much as she was to sing, but
yeah,
she nailed it.
Yeah. So that was the big one, right? When they did this at the awards, but they actually played these songs twice. The other time they played them was when they were opening for Red Hot Chili Peppers. I think this was at the end of that tour. So Callie, did you actually see a Red Hot Chili Peppers show that they opened for?
Yeah, I did. I watched the show in Birmingham in December 2016. Yeah, that's when it happened. Yeah.
I'm jealous.
Okay. So that's not the Birmingham is not where the O2 Arena is, right?
No. It's kind of in the middle. Yeah.
Okay. I don't, my UK geography is not great, but
no.
So, but I guess in that same tour, at the end, December 18th, 2016 at the O2 Arena, they played both of these songs. And they had actually Chad Smith of Red Hot Chili Peppers on the drums for this. And this is so I mean, that's cool, whatever. But this is also the fairly famous bit where, Sue thanks Chad Metal for participating in this. And And then he brings her a birthday cake because this was like 2 days before her birthday. I assume that you've all seen this, right?
Yeah.
It is very funny. Either she's acting really well or she did not know that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean it was very sweet, and oddly awkward too. Anyway, it was cool. And yes, Chad Smith does indeed look like Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
I think they both went on a talk show once in America.
Yeah, they had a drum off.
Yeah, they did.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was
you're
very,
right.
very funny.
Yeah. Ever since I saw that, I couldn't get it out of my head. And every time I see Chad Smith, I think of Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
It's not fair. All right,
uncanny.
back to BABYMETAL, though.
That's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, so these are times when they've played with like fancy people on stage, people from the metal world. If you call Red Hot Chili Peppers metal, I don't know if you would, but at any rate, established world. There's one thing that I do not know. Well, there's two things that I don't know very much about on this list, but one of them is in 2015, again, jumping all over time here, there was Ultra Japan 2015, the Ultra Music Festival, and Skrillex was playing. Do you guys know Skrillex?
Yes.
I know his name. I know music, but I'm not familiar with him.
Okay, so Callie, sounds like you know him better.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he does much now, but when it was kind of peak Skrillex, maybe it was like 2009, 2010, I was very into it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't really look into it, and so I don't really know what the music is like. My impression is that he's kind of playing almost like a DJ role, right? I mean, like he's kind of constructing the music with instruments in front of him as he goes.
It's pretty much just a DJ because the song is this. He just plays the song and then just changes it around, like like a DJ would really, because you couldn't play all of that kind of synth and instruments in one show.
Yeah. Okay. Or like Grimes does this too, sort of.
Yeah.
But so what happened was Skrillex was playing at this festival and brought BABYMETAL out for something like a Gimme Chocolate cover. But it was really only something like. I mean, like it was the beginning was it was all sort of mixed in the way that a DJ would mix it, right? So there's a lot of sort of repeating stuff in the intro, and then they come out, Tsuyu and Mo come out. It's clear that they didn't quite know when it had started.
No, it was quite awkward.
So it's like, oh, okay, I guess we're going now. And then there was sort of like this part, so there's a sort of a part that they were familiar with. And then it just sort of like broke into nothing recognizable. And they kind of wandered away off stage, and that was the end of it. He kept going, but their participation was sort of over after the first 30 seconds.
You can hear them on their mics at the side of the stage, I think, at the start of that song.
Oh, you mean like talking to each other?
Yeah. I think you can hear Mo. I think it's her.
That's pretty cool. Anyway, it's an interesting event in their history. I think it's not something that I am going to intentionally listen to again. So that's all I know about that. Is there anything I missed?
I didn't know much about that either, but I feel like though it was just a feature on them, but I think they were only on stage for 30 seconds before Skrillex changed the knob to make it play a different song. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that too much. I feel like it's not fair.
Well, no. I don't think it was so much them. I don't think he was necessarily playing a different song. He just had mutated it beyond recognition.
Oh, yeah. See, again, I still feel like it's just not doing them justice. It's not fair.
Yeah.
To the crowd, I'm sure a good third of which came just to see BABYMETAL.
I don't know if I think it might have been a surprise. Actually, I don't know.
I think it was a surprise. Yeah.
Happy surprise. I mean, I'm sure for them it was great to be able to go on stage with one of their fellow artists that they admire.
Okay. Let's see. Sort of speaking of surprise appearances, I suppose maybe the next one we can mention is Download 2015, where Dragon Force was playing at Download, and this was actually the time when the Download promoter organizer had said basically, like, no way am I inviting BABYMETAL. So they're not going to be on the Download agenda, but Dragon Force was there.
Dragon Force had other plans.
And so Dragon Force brought them on, which is pretty cool. So I guess from what I understand, actually, Dragon Force was getting. I'm okay. So I don't exactly know what the deal is with the Metal Hammer Golden Gods ceremony that was happening on June 15th, 2015. So what I don't know is whether it was Dragon Force or BABYMETAL or both that were getting some kind of award at that thing, but they were both playing. So we knew that they were both going to be playing at that ceremony, playing Gimme Chocolate and Road of Resistance. So a little bit before that happened, there was an interview with Dragon Force ahead of Download, sort of talking about the fact that it was coming up, and Dragon Force was, they were saying actually that they were pretty excited to be able to play Road of Resistance live with them, for the first time they'd ever done that. Dragon Force participated in writing Road of Resistance, so.
And if you ever heard ain't much Dragon Force, it's not too hard to tell.
Yeah, pretty much every reaction you ever see to Road of Resistance says, "Oh, this sounds Dragon Force-y."
Yeah. And I would comment about Dragon Force, I liked Dragon Force before I even knew about Guitar Hero. So it's like, as soon as you mention Dragon Force, everybody's mind goes, "Oh, Through the Fire and the Flames, the hardest song on Guitar Hero." No,
yeah, that's what I think.
they're a whole band.
Yeah.
They tour. They have a bunch of other songs, and granted, a few of them sound similar, but they're very talented.
Yeah, of course.
I think it's pretty clear that Koba took some inspiration following that event too.
But yeah, so the prank that Dragon Force played was essentially they were invited on the Download stage, and the Download organization had said, "No way are we having BABYMETAL there." So Dragon Force invited BABYMETAL onto their set. So that's cool. That was another case where they were on stage with other artists. At the award show, the Metal Hammer Golden Gods Award thing, I assume most people have seen it. It's really not very pleasant to watch, just because the people who introduce it are terrible. but they're cute when they're getting their award, at least. Yeah, Breakthrough Band Award is what they got for that. And then the last one actually was I was just reminded of today, and I know the least about this, so it's possible that the chat room can help.
Yeah, I read that and I have no idea. I know who Jam Project is, but I don't know anything about this.
The thing that we don't know much about, that we're about to talk about, is the Su Metal basically performed with Jam Project on a Jam Metal session. And so Jam Project is, I believe, this is Japan Animation Song Makers. And what we have here basically, as a record of this, is audio only. There's no video of this happening, but it was basically at the Japan Pop Culture Carnival in 2013. They played 3 songs that Su Metal helped with the vocals on. So the songs were Touch, Yuzurenai Nagai, and Cat's Eye. And these are all, they're basically anime songs. So I didn't quite finish looking up Touch, but Yuzurenai Nagai is from Magic Knight Ray Earth, and Cat's Eye is from Cat's Eye. So anyway.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I only know Jam Project because they did the intro to another anime, One Punch Man. That's the...
Yes, you're right. I had noticed that, and I don't know anything about that except that I know that it has become quite famous recently.
It's kind of a funny anime. I've watched 2 animes in my life, and that's one of the 2. Pretty good. I'd recommend it. I think there's only 2 seasons out right now, though.
Yeah, I am curious about it, at least.
But back to Jam Project, though, the song's called Hero, I think. The opening, it's pretty catchy. They write pretty catchy opening songs, I guess. Not too familiar with them otherwise.
Cool. I mean, and it's definitely interesting to hear the audio from these songs, and you can hear Sue. So it's not her by herself. She's singing, verses here and there. But there was also an interview by Asian Beat that was written up and translated that talks about it. Although really, it's basically just Sue saying she had a good time doing it. But and it was described as the event was together they performed metal versions of 3 famous anime songs. So I think that's it. That actually exhausts all of the things that I had in the list here. The one thing I'm not sure about is whether they were, on stage with anyone, just dancing around or whatever. There's another list of people that they opened for. When we were talking about the frog in the box and all that stuff. Yes. That was a time when they were promoting a show that they were doing in Taiwan with Chthonic. I don't think that they interacted except for acceptance, kind of like a split show, opening act kind of thing. And they opened for several other people. So they opened for Lady Gaga in 2014, Red Hot Chili Peppers in December 2016 and April 2017, Metallica in January 2017, Guns N' Roses in January 2017, and Korn in summer 2017. So there are photos with all of these people. The chat room says, that's interesting. Here's something I did not know, I guess. The chat room says that Chthonic and Big Metal were on stage together for Megitsune. So here we go. Yeah, I guess now we can call upon the chat room to tell us like what we're forgetting.
Helpful resources.
Yeah. So okay, so far we have Megitsune performed. Well, I should watch this video.
I'm watching it right now.
So are they both performing it?
Yeah. There's people on stage I don't recognize. There's Baby Bones with a guitar, two guitarists of the Chthonic, however you pronounce the name. I still can't get it.
Chthonic,
They have Baby Bones playing all the traditional instruments, and they have a few members of the other band on stage playing guitar and bass with their singer.
That's cool.
Yeah, I did not know this existed. This is new to me. This is great.
There are definitely some like backstage photos with all of these groups, and I think there's a relatively well-known video of Lady Gaga watching Baby Metal play.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah. The chat room asks if Korn did play with them.
I know they went on stage with them when they supported them because they dressed up as the Cammies and put like the face paint on.
Yeah.
There's that little bonus clip that they made, like a little montage of one of their shows.
Ah, okay.
But I don't know if they actually played together.
Oh, it's in the chat room.
Oh, is it there? Okay. There you go.
Okay.
They are playing, but I don't know.
They did come on stage and play along. That's fun.
Oh, this is the one where like everybody's upset about the hug.
Yes, the hug, yeah.
Oh, fans. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think there wasn't anything in particular further that I wanted to talk about. Kind of ran off the end of the, my little list of things here. Anyway, that's these are the things that we know about songs that they've covered and bands that they've played with, and they have a pretty good connection, I think, with quite a lot of the music scene. So I don't know what we're going to do next time, but we will be here in a couple weeks. I think between now and then we're going to have the Legendess stream, so that's good.
That's something to look forward to.
And who knows, maybe there'll be more news.
Maybe.
So, and we can also maybe next time find out, what happened to Kevin.
Yeah. It'll probably be me next. I can't make it.
But that's okay. I think we'll get his thoughts on whatever we missed on the covers next time. So thanks everybody for joining in the chat and for helping out and with all the things we forgot. And thanks everyone who made it here for podcasting. That's it for this episode. You can join us on the Baby Metal Podcast Discord to continue the conversation. Rating the podcast on whatever platform you listen on will help people find it, so please do that. We'll be back here in about 2 weeks. We hope you'll join us then. And until then, see you